recent studies in neuroscience have demonstrated pretty conclusively that we are completely shaped by age 9.
Whoa.
The brain has 4 ages, and one of them is age 9. So now we know that the formative years are 0 to 9, not 0 to 3.
Wow.
This is very recent. This is the bleeding edge. This is like a few days ago. And so we have to accept this. We have been shaped, we have been molded, we have been sculpted. And to some extent, some parts of us are going to be like that. What is the solution? To give up on your life? If you give up on your parents, you're giving up on a crucial part of your life and an enormous portion of your identity. This is self-sabotage. This is self-defeating. This is not a good way forward. This is self-denial. You're denying yourself. It's very likely to result in phenomena such as anxiety and depression. You have to confront your life, embrace it, integrate it. You have to become one with your life. And your parents will always be there. They're inside your head. There's nothing you can do about it. They're always going to be inside your head. They're an integral part of your personal biography. They form your what we call episodic memories. You can't get rid of your parents by going no contact. That is delusional. That's not only infantile, it's also delusional. It's not working. I mean, had it worked, I may have said, it's a great idea. It's not working. It's not going to work. Because your parents are inside your head. They're not out there. And this is the answer to your other question. When the parents pass away, that doesn't resolve the issue. People believe that it resolves the issue. They convince themselves. It's like the placebo effect, They convince themselves, my mother is passed away. Now I'm free. That's false. That's fake. That's not real.
I got to tell you something. I had a shrink once. So I had been hospitalized for pneumonia years and years and years ago. And I was put from the emergency room up into a room with, there was an elderly woman in the bed next to me and she was dying. She was like actively dying. And she was maybe 90. She looked like a wraith. She looked like that wraith in Seven when the cops go into the room and they're like, they think the guy's dead. And he like, And she was screaming, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." She was like screaming this. And I said to my shrink when I got out of the hospital, I was like, "It never ends, does it?" And she goes, "No, it never does.
Never does. True.
Never does.
But
Mommy's always there."
But if we have 2 more minutes, I would like I would like maybe to restore some proportion.
Yes.
There is no job more terrifying than a parent.
Yes.
Not the president of the United States, not the chief justice, not the most terrifying job by far is parent, mother or father.
You're so right.
And also, the majority of people are not equipped to be parents.
Yes.
They were not trained to be parents. They didn't learn or study how to be
And I'm
parents.
going to say something that might be controversial, but I believe it's true. I think there are more people walking around than not who have kids or had children because it was the thing to do. Yeah. It was the expected thing to do.
People have kids for a variety of wrong reasons and so on. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking now about the innate capacity to parent.
Understood.
People don't know how to parent because they had a bad example at home growing up, or because they think parenting is like driving a car, it's kind of an automatic thing, or because they've been misled by society to believe that having children is a thing to do, or for a variety of reasons.
Right.
So put the two together. Mm-hmm. The terror, the absolute terror of having a child, mm-hmm. the fear of getting it wrong, mm-hmm. the ignorance, am I doing the right thing? The expectations, multiple expectations, including of your own parents, and mm-hmm. So there's an ambience of terror coupled with inadequacy in the majority of cases. Now imagine how terrifying this is. Your parents, I'm not talking, as you said, I'm not talking about incest and sexual abuse. I'm not talking about these things. These are beyond the pale.
Yes.
A typical pair of parents, including parents who split and divide children into assigned roles of golden child and scapegoat, which is very common, more common than you would think.
Yeah.
They were doing their best. You must accept this. They were doing their best. That's the best they could do. Are you angry at them for being who they are or who they were? Are you angry at them? What are you angry at them for? Let me understand. That's the maximum they could have done. That's it. The same applies to yourself. You have to forgive yourself. You're always doing your best. If the outcome is less than optimal, if you keep failing or whatever, there's no call for you to be angry at yourself, to criticize yourself, to vilify yourself, to then no reason for any of this. You're doing your best. We're all doing our best all the time, but we're limited. We're helpless. We are, and very often we fail. And especially when we're in panic mode. And all parents I know are constantly in panic mode. And panic mode never ends, even when the child is 16, and even when the child is 26, and even when the child is 46. The panic mode never ends. It's taxing. Being a parent is taxing. I don't want to go into studies because I don't want to dissuade people. But it's a tough job. It's a horrible job. It's a tough job. And if you get it wrong, you ruin someone's life. You're ruining someone's life. The stakes are enormous. Cut them some slack. Give them a break. They did what they could. Stop being so, self-focused and
self-righteous,
and sanctimonious. And what makes you think you would have done a better job?
I got to say, Sam, I love everything you're saying. I hope that the conversations that you and I are having at the Nerve have some pushback in a culture still led by Oprah Winfrey, who had on that show that we showed at the top of the Nerve, a guy, like a 28-year-old guy who said, yeah, I've been no contact with my parents for years now. And you want to know why? They wanted me to succeed. They wanted me to go to an Ivy League school and perform well. That's his gripe. They wanted a good life for him. So no contact for them. We all want the best food for ourselves and our families, but it's hard to know what is safe. Food labels can be misleading. Introducing Olive. Olive is the clean living shortcut on your phone. 100% independent, credible, transparent, no brand pay to play. A simple scan on Olive looks beyond macros and marketing to flag ultra processing, additives, seed oils, and contaminants with a comprehensive database you can trust. Proof, not promises. Olive recently completed the largest independent baby food study ever. 300 plus products tested for lead and arsenic in ISO accredited labs. Real tests, real results. Moms, has your baby's food been contaminated with lead? Simply scan with Olive to find out. If you are frustrated by reading confusing food labels and ingredients you can't even pronounce, try Olive. Listeners of The Nerve get an exclusive 7-day free trial. Try Olive. Scan your pantry. Make sure you are feeding your family the very best. Download Olive now in the App Store. Olive, 100% independent, credible, transparent. Scan, swap, exhale.